Today I have a very interesting YouTube video for you. I do a lot of one-to-one classes. I sometimes do two-to-one, that means two members come to do a workshop with me, but today we have a three-to-one, father and two boys. I can ask you to introduce yourself so that the viewers know who you are.
Hello, I'm Jeremy Bayliss.
I'm Oliver Bayliss.
I'm Charlie Bayliss.
Jeremy, Oliver?
And
Charlie, okay. Now, I'm really impressed with the material you brought. How long have you been doing bonsai then?
Well, I was one of your students 25 years ago.
Really?
Yeah.
And you've got some bonsai?
I had some bonsais,
Yes.
but had to leave them in a property that I
Yes.
had sort of 20 years ago.
Yes.
So then there was a gap, and I had my two younger boys.
Okay.
I was growing my boys,
Yes, okay.
and then we've just
Coming back to
started
it.
sort of coming back to it, thinking of a
Okay.
retirement
But you have a
exercise.
very good idea as to what material is suitable for bonsai. So all this lovely material, I think our YouTube videos would give their right arm for it. Really, they would give their right arm for it. It is ready-made bonsai. My one-to-one workshops are usually 2 hours, but I'm not going to use this as a race or a challenge because bonsai is not a race, it's a patient game. But I work fast, and if you leave me to my own devices, I can get them done in 1.5 hours. But that's not the point. I'm here to teach, to show people what to do. So we've got this pisceer. In fact, we've got 2 pisceers, 3 lovely honeysuckles, and I think my viewers will be getting really excited. Look at these, were picked up in a garden center for £5. That's an absolute bargain. When the bonsai is made, it'll be worth 4, 5 or more times than that. Some of these trees you can get 3 bonsai out of each pot. And look at this huge beech. Once it's done, it's going to be worth hundreds, absolute hundreds. So look at it, it's ideal for bonsai. It's halfway there.
This was 150.
That's good. It's very good because a bonsai would be worth several hundred. Now, this seems a waste to use for bonsai. This is called osmeria. Did you ask him what the name is?
Yes.
It's got beautiful scented white flowers. It's usually grown at this bush, but I can see why you picked it. Can you tell us why you picked this?
When I purchased them, the 3 of them, they were
Yes.
all in one pot.
Yes.
As a sort of a
One pot.
Yes. So
Okay.
so I've cut them up, as you probably can
Yes.
see.
Okay, and you potted them up. This
And
is
I
sometime.
literally just cut them
Okay.
very recently in thirds.
Okay.
So 3 of them, one over there.
All right.
And it came as if you put them together,
Big
it's like
bush.
a bush.
Yeah.
But when I looked underneath, as I've seen you do on many occasions,
Beautiful trunk.
there's a nice trunk.
All right.
Nice trunk.
So there are 3 of them.
Yeah.
There are 3 of them. Okay. So and there are 2 maples. So there are 3, 4, 5 there. 5, 3, 8, 9, 11. Enough to make a soccer team, isn't it? Okay. So we will start with the simplest ones first. I assume you have some wiring skills, but because there are so many trees, there's going to be a lot of wire involved. So we'll talk about that. So let's begin with this one. The Christmas tree or the pisceer. Dwarf Alberta spruce. Now you picked a nice one because it's a very mature tree. And have you seen me do videos on this?
Yep. Again.
When I started doing this, I keep repeating it. Back at the start of the pandemic, everyone laughed at me, especially a lot of viewers from abroad. He said, "You can't be serious. You can't be making bonsai from Christmas trees." Now everyone, including the great so-called masters, they're all copying me and making bonsai from Christmas trees. So this has got potential. It's got a beautiful trunk. The trunk is probably not bendable anymore, so it's going to be a nice formal upright tree. And you did have it in a shallow pot, isn't it? So
No, it was in a deeper pot. So
Oh,
I just
okay, very good.
took that out because
ready-made bonsai. So it's crying out to be what we call a formal upright straight
Yeah.
tree. There's some wiring involved. Now, looking at the base, how do we choose the base? If you look at this tree, the front is usually the side which is open. So if we turn the tree around, there are different possibilities though. It doesn't have to be that side, but because that side is open, it would make a nice front.
Yeah,
That root is the defective one. You know, that is coming out of the wrong place, but we can easily deal with that. And let's just cut that off. And you will begin to see, once it is off, it will look quite different. We can clean that up. Usually there's such a lot of root, cutting the odd root off won't hurt the tree one bit. I'll tidy that up. So that's a very nice root spread going into the ground like that, what we call a nice nibari. Formal upright trees, we don't need branches that low. They can start from fairly high up. Just having branches from high up will make it look much more credible. But certainly we can even start from there if we so wish. So you got to trust me. Once you wire those, we probably won't need these. I'm going to show you how to make driftwood. You remember how to make your driftwood, Jeremy? You know?
Yeah.
We strip the bark.
Yes.
Okay, so I'm going to get you to do it because I don't want to be doing it. Okay? Or you boys can do it. Cut this one, and okay, cut those two off. Leave a little stub and we'll show you how to make a bit of driftwood on that.
Oliver, do you want to do this one?
Okay, thank you.
Always nice to see young people getting involved in bonsai. So once we've done that, we make a partial cut, usually a cut at the back, and then we can strip the bark. So the driftwood or the gins is just to simulate a tree that has been damaged in the storm. We can refine that in a minute. I don't want to spend too much time doing that. I'll get a tool to show you that in a minute. Okay, we've got some wiring to do. So let's do some wiring practice. Normally I wouldn't keep that branch, but I will keep that branch so that you can do some wiring practice, and we go to wire a few branches and we'll be there. Okay, so have you wired before?
I haven't, no.
Okay, why don't you start? Okay, so we're going to wire this branch and that branch, so we take the tip wire up to there. I can see there's a bit of wire marks there. Okay, and this one, take it up to there. Keep the wire tight, like how I've done it on this side. Take it up to there and take this one up to there. Right? So we're doing the two branch principle. Don't cut it, no, don't cut it. I'll show you what to do. So isn't that incredible? In just 15 or 20 minutes, we've got that far.
15 minutes, yeah.
And it's virtually a complete bonsai. And I think the top can be left as it is. I don't need to wire too much at the top. The main thing is the low branches, separating the low branches would be quite good. So this gives the image of a tall forest tree growing in an open parkland. Okay. With this one, this osmeria, we're just going to cut it down to size because it's much too large. Simply by doing some rough pruning, you will get a very good idea as to what the eventual bonsai will be. Now, there is some long-term factor involved in here because you won't get, as I say, an instant bonsai from just a few minutes work. Hey, don't cut the thin branches. Oh,
Sorry.
Okay, keep cutting around the bush, the top. Make it much harder than that. Come down.
Further?
Yeah, all that, everything off. Just go at random. Make it into a round bush. Okay. the top part, not the low part. Make it into a much tighter round ball. Yeah, the right hand side, all that, you haven't touched yet. That side. Yeah. Yeah, we want a ball about this size.
Okay.
Okay, simply cutting it into this shape has made it look more like a bonsai, don't you agree? Look at that, huh? Just by doing that, it started to make it look more like a bonsai. Now this is where we've got to look at it and analyze more closely. If you can kindly hold the camera like this for me, and then I'm going to take you through the process of deciding which to take off and which to keep. With bonsai, when you make bonsai, we prefer to keep the thin branches. I've said it many times before in my videos. The reason why we prefer to use thin branches is because the contrast between the thin branch and the trunk makes the trunk look thicker. If I kept thick branches to use as branches, it doesn't emphasize the thickness of the trunk. You understand?
Yeah.
It's contrast. Okay, so we're aiming to keep the thin branches as far as possible. This is like a multi-trunk tree. We try not to keep too many inward pointing branches or inward growing branches. I think we can still cut harder than that. So it's just a method of elimination. No more than that. Quite a lot at the back there. Now this plant, which is called the osmeria, is I think a cross between an osmanthus and something else. So osmeria, they have lovely fragrant white flowers used as hedging. Now I've got to ask myself, do I need this thick part or not? It's very thick, so I think not. So I'm going to take that off. This is where taking major decisions like that is quite tricky, isn't it?
Yeah.
You wouldn't have thought of taking that off.
No.
Okay?
Definitely not.
I think if I keep the thinner branch, I get what's called a better taper. So, look at that. This coming inwards doesn't look very nice. This is okay going out that way. This is okay going out that way. I'll gradually reduce the height. That is a bit confusing. With bonsai, the line of the trunks is very important. The more interesting the lines, the more interesting the tree becomes. Can you see the shape emerging already? That's a nice curvy line. That is curving out that way. I can keep that out. And that for leader, I can take that, reduce the height of that. Can you see how the shape is coming up? This branch worries me because it's going inwards, so take it out. If it worries me, take it out. And if you keep it this height, it will be quite an interesting bonsai. I've just noticed something else. Can you tell me what is worrying you about this design? Can you come around this side and look at it from the front? Can you see it through here? No, this way. Yeah, okay.
Is it this Peter? This here?
Not so much that. No, it is this one. Can you see how it's conflicting with the trunk at the back? It's spoiling the line. If you hold this for me. See, this line is nice, but this is crossing there.
Oh yeah.
Like that. And I've always used what is called the Peter-Chan bag trick. where if you don't want to cut it, you can always see what it looks like if it were to be cut. So if I did that, hide that, then you see the effect. The line is cleaner that way, you see? Not crossing with that. So you can have the pleasure of taking off there. That's it. Now this would be quite a respectable bonsai just as it is. Do you not agree?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay? No wiring involved, just pruning. There you go. That's done. Okay, now I'm going to get you to do the other one. So this one is another one.
So Charlie, shall we?
Yeah, don't worry about the debris. Okay, so we're going to cut everything off like that. Can you imagine a round ball?
Looking at this.
Everything off, just cut it off, all right? Yeah, absolutely right. Good. Go for it, go for it. Don't be afraid. Absolutely right. Good. That's it. Yeah, that's it. Go for it, go for it.
Do it like
Yeah, that's it. Good, good. Perfect. Yeah. See, nice to see a family involved in bonsai. You don't often get this. I'm sure all my viewers will be envious.
You can do it because it's much so strong.
Nice way to spend a summer holiday. Don't forget the ball shape. Imagine the ball shape and cut it down to a ball shape. The things at the back need to be cut, all that. Debris, don't cut too low. All that tall stuff needs to be cut. Yeah, that, yeah, all that. Anything above that, cut off. So we got to decide which is going to be the front. We can either use this side or use this side. Both sides are possible. I think looking at it carefully, this gives a better taper. So before I cut it, I always use the bag trick. The bag trick gives me a good view as to how it would look if it were to be cut off. So if I were to cut it off, this is what it would look like so. Can you see it in there? So this will be a nice leader. If I use this side, I can use this as the leader, but it leans away from you. So I think on balance the other side seems better. So let's stick with that side. And there's a lot of congestion here, so I'll probably take this out. We want to keep it clear. I think that we don't need. That one we can shorten. That one we can shorten. This one we're going to get rid of. Can you imagine how much we're getting rid of? I think it's barely 10% of the tree is left, but this is what bonsai is about. Less is more. And I can tidy that stub by using this wen cutter to get a clean cut close to the trunk. Oh. The wood is quite hard. You see how clean the cut you get with the wind cutter. Okay, there you are. And then this is a bit thick there. I won't need that, so I will cut that off. Cut that off. And that is all we need, I think. So that is the clean line on that tree. Look at that. Okay, so that's done. Let's have a look at that one.
It's Charlie's.
Now this one, again, this is a very nice front. I don't think I need this one because there's too much out in the front. Don't worry, this is a hedging tree, and hedging plants, they love hard pruning like this. So you get a lot of new branches very, very quickly. Now this has got a nice line there. This is going out that way. I'm getting the thick branches out because I don't want the thick branches. That one probably I don't need because this is going to be like a twin trunk tree. And once it's put in a bonsai pot, it will look quite different. Okay, so every tree is slightly different. They all look different. Okay, so we dealt with that one.
Okay.
Now we are coming into some interesting territory. These Lonicera, these 5-pound trees, they are quite interesting because the trunks are very contorted, and we will exploit the trunk to the full. Because it's a bit pot bound, I will have to take it out of the pot, so we'll stop filming for a while. This is out of the pot. They're very rampant plants. This seems to be like a golden variety, and they always have very characterful trunks. Look at the base on that, look at the base on that. Trying out to be made into bonsai. So, we have 3 Lonicera, and they're all different. The beauty of this material is that the base is very gnarled and contorted, and simply by doing something to the base, we will get a very interesting tree. Because of the size of the tree, this one must be at least 15 to 18 inches tall, but we don't need all of it. So it's simply by cutting it down to a small size, we will get a very interesting bonsai. We want to show the trunk to the full. So I think we will just cut it back to there, and we will get a small bonsai like that. Okay, that is a simple one. Not all of them are simple. This is slightly different. Now this one is also interesting. The base is very interesting. But the 2 trees there, they are in fact like 2 trees or suckers from the same tree, could be separated. So we will separate the 2 trees and get 2 bonsai out of it. Rather than just waste it as one, we will cut that off. So there's a way of doing it. And we will yank this apart and get 2 trees from there. So that's what I'm going to do with that one. And now this one, even more interesting. Look at that. There are about 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. So, are you handy with the saw, Jeremy? Why don't you do this for me?
Okay.
Just slice it like cutting cake. Cut that off.
Okay.
Cut that off and cut that off.
Okay.
Okay, there you go.
I'm in construction, so although
They're such vigorous plants that they will literally bounce back straight away. Okay, that's one plant. There you go. So you get more for your money. They work for £1 each. Where can you get a plant for £1 each? Can't even get a sip of coffee for £1. Don't cut your finger. Okay.
Business is in industry.
Is it?
He's good with the saw.
Oh.
His business is in the industry.
Okay, good. You just cut across, don't have to go around. There's plenty root there, plenty root to sustain the tree. That's number 2. See, a lot of people are afraid of doing this, but there's nothing to be afraid of, okay?
this is what I did with the osmanthus.
Oh, good. Yeah. Get as much root as possible. Try not to cut the trunk. Oh, yeah, keep going. I think we got a sliver of root. Okay, great. That's it. There you go. 4 trees. Okay, each one is different. So again, each of these is just a pruning exercise. So I can let you use your imagination. Yeah, just get a nice shape, prune it back, And that would be, look at it.
Yeah,
It looks like a bonsai already.
Already,
Huh?
yeah.
Now
It's
that
just
one
nice and
also
pink.
can be like a twin trunk tree. We can wire the top and wire that. That would be interesting too. That one, because it's very straight, we can do a bit of wiring and give it a bit of bend there. Okay, so why don't you trim this first and let's
Okay.
see what we get out of that. Just trim those. Maybe with secateurs might be easier, whatever tool you find convenient. Like so. So that's going to be the tree, like that. That's that one, two. And then this one I will wire as well and give it a twist. So we're going to get at least 6 plants out of this. So that is the broom style that we managed to get. That one we put a bit of wire. And you can see how interesting that shape is. So that is a simple one from just a sucker. This one also, we've got a tree like that. So like a twin trunk. You can wire these, so we've got another one. That one we haven't done anything, but this is like a cutting, it's still got a sliver root, we grow this on. Now this one is very interesting, the base is ever so interesting, but a bit congested. So if I pull it apart, I can make it look more open. So if I use thick one, open it out, it makes it more interesting. So let me do that for a start, and meanwhile we will clear some of the debris from here. See, opening it out, do you agree? It
Yeah.
makes it look less congested. Even that is clouding the base of the tree, so let me get that out of the way. The trunk is important. Once you see an interesting trunk, then it begins to look like a tree. So we're going to open it out like that. So I'm going to put a thick piece of wire there. So I'm using here 4mm wire. So I'm just going to stick it into the soil to anchor. If I get you to wrap it tight, one of you, wrap it tight all the way to here. All the way there, really tight. You can pull it out a little bit to help because I'm going to pull this branch. Okay, now that we've put the wire on, I'm just going to give it one tweak, open it out. Hopefully it will work. You see the effect I'm trying to get? Can you see that effect?
Yeah.
It looks pleasing like
Yeah.
that. Huh? So sometimes if the wire is not strong, you can tie a guy wire. So that is the effect I intended to achieve. Just by doing that, I've got an interesting shape. Now there was one more, or two more. That one is like a twin trunk. Again, we can, I think if we open it out a bit, that's another cutting we can have. I won't show you too much of this. This is just wiring it, and we've got that without any work on it. It already looks like a bonsai like that. Okay, on this one. So now we're going to show you what we're going to do. We put some very heavy wire because we want to bend this trunk to make it more interesting. So let's show you what we do. Now this tree is quite interesting from here, but that was the natural shape, but I want to change the shape. So with this heavy wire, I think I can do it. Oopsie. This sometimes happens. I once was on television and I broke a juniper, but you got to make out that you deliberately meant it to break. Pebble Mill at 1984, I think it was.
Gosh, I remember peppermint.
Yeah, I used to go to Birmingham to do it. Okay, that's broken, so we won't need that. So we will just cut that off. It's still nice. The beauty is that plants grow again. So nothing is a disaster. Certain trees are more bendable than others. Actually, the other option is to make this into a small tree. Not all trees have to be tall. So, sometimes, if the plans don't work out, it's not the end of the world. So, this didn't work, so let's try something else. I don't like to waste wire, so I'm going to uncoil the wire and use the wire again. Why waste wire? You know there's a category of bonsai called shohin, that means small bonsai. So we're going to make this into a small bonsai.
Shohin.
Small is beautiful. Small is beautiful. So with this tree, the base is very interesting. Look at that beautiful base there. Let me try and see if I can get something out of the tree by doing this.
I saw that. I saw that before we even...
Did you? Yeah, very good. See, great minds think alike. And we can even be more drastic and do this. Small is beautiful. Look at that. Now this is conflicting. Or, what if I did that? No. That is a bit of a conflict there. No, I don't think we need that. The beauty is the root, isn't it? The root is ever so beautiful. That one is crossing, that root is crossing there. I don't need that root. Do you think I need that?
No.
No.
Very good. And now we'll grow new branches from there and we'll get a nice tree. So the beauty is in that base there. So we've got to think in future when you get all these new shoots coming, because the hedging plant, they grow ever so rapidly. And if I can just give you some ideas to what the future will be like, you're going to get a tree with lots of branches growing like that, you know? Can you imagine? So that is the main thing that you're going to exploit to the full. The trunk and the base takes time to grow, and that's what we're going to use for the future bonsai. So,
And the trunk is called...
nebari, the root
Nebari.
base. Root base.
Nebari.
Cutting cake, I call this. And certain plants like this hedging honeysuckle, look at it. It's a massive root. It's a massive root. You don't have to worry one bit. You have a trouble stopping it growing. They're so vigorous. Look at that. We've got a beautiful bonsai there. So from our clutch of honeysuckles, we've got so many trees. When they're potted up, you won't recognize them. So much for that. Okay, so now the big beast is our beech tree. Okay, we stop filming that now. So now we have this beast of a tree, and it is absolutely enormous. But as you can see, it is virtually halfway there. These are grown for hedging, and the root ball is really nice. Lots of fibrous root. They look almost like Dutch plants to me, because that's soil I recognize. That's right.
Because obviously there was a natural view this
Yeah,
way because
I
of
know.
the way that it's been.
one ugly root here. Can you see this one coming this way? Can I just move this tongue down this way? This,
We just keep going with this, Peter.
yeah. Okay, so looking at the tree, just keeping it round like this will make it look very, very interesting as a broom style tree. Broom means like a ball shape, right? So we want to expose the trunk as much as possible. So anything hiding the trunk, I will take out. I want to keep some of the low branches, but I don't want the branches to spring up so that it spoils the definition. That means the different layers. I don't want it to spoil the different layers. That I can wire down if I wanted to, but I don't probably need this one. That one can probably come off. That one is the crossing branch. That's crossing there, I can take that off. That's the crossing branch, is half dead, take that off. So by method of elimination, I can soon get a nice looking bonsai out of it. Again, a dome shape or a ball shape. See, if I simply reduce the head a bit into more of a dome shape, why don't you do it?
Yeah.
A ball shape like that,
Okay.
like that. And then we will look at the inside to see what it's like. We will see how it evolves. Just an evolutionary process. These vertical ones I try not to encourage, I try to keep them flat. The flat bits is what we call the pad. Still a lot of congestion in there. See, we've tinned it, we have scalped it. This is a bit congested at the back.
Yeah.
That's good. What is your preferred front? You look at it and tell me. Turn the tree around and then.
I quite like this branch
Yeah.
here.
So you would like this as the front? Like this?
Yeah.
Okay.
So,
Yeah, all right. Okay, we can keep this as the front. It's quite nice. Don't even need to do much wiring to it either. Remember, by taking the tips out, you cause more ramification. That means more trigginess. It's like pruning a hedge, you know, the more you prune,
Yeah.
the trickier it gets. So this is a possible front. Another possible front, you may not have seen it, but I think I can make this the front as well. If I remove that branch, remove this branch, then you can see that branch going that way, that branch going that way. That's a possible front. But the outside may be better. So
I think initially,
yeah, it's more balanced this way.
yeah,
More
just
balanced.
feels a bit more balanced. That
Okay.
way.
And then we will find either a round pot or a deep plastic training pot. It'll look instantly like a bonsai. So that's done.
Wow. Excellent.
Wait till you see it in a bonsai pot.
Yeah.
Okay?
Can we maybe go and choose one?
Yeah, we'll choose one. And then we've done almost 2 3/4 hours. And this is what we've produced. Must be at least 9 bonsai, including this big beech. If you compare it to what we started off with, this is the end result of that beech. Very credible tree. This is the Christmas tree that we did. And we produced about 9 of these little rhodocera, 9 of them. Lots and lots. And these we didn't have time to pot up, but we can grow them on. These were the, I think it's called
Osmanthus?
osmanthus, yeah, osmanthus.
Yeah.
Yeah, so look at that. So that's will leaf out and then you can put it in a bonsai pot maybe in the autumn. So we've had a nice time. So have you enjoyed it?
Fantastic.
Joining the boys?
It's been really good fun. Really good
Yeah,
fun.
you're not scared of making bonsai?
Not scared.
Okay, give us a high
Not
five.
scared. Peter,
There you go. All right.
Fantastic.
Okay.
thank you.
Thank you.